enlighten us with His word. And let us start this conference.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me or can you see me?
We can hear you and we can see you.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, our international moderator. On behalf of Vision for Excellence International University and Realtor, I'm truly honored to welcome you all to the Empowering Educational Leaders, a one-day symposium on leadership excellence. We are thrilled to have such an esteemed group of participants from all around the world joining us today. This event is a unique opportunity for us to gather as a community of educators, thought leaders, and innovators who are dedicated to advancing leadership in education. We are confident that today's sessions will provide valuable insight, foster collaboration, and inspire us to all to take bold steps toward leadership excellence. Before we begin, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to Professor Siam, the Vice Chancellor of Vision for Excellence International University in New Zealand. It's under her vision and leadership that this symposium has come to life. And we are incredibly grateful for our tireless efforts in bringing us all together today. Professor Siam, thank you for your dedication to fostering leadership and excellence in education and your unwavering commitment to making this event a reality. Additionally, we are honored to have Professor Nada from Croatia with us today as our moderator. With her professional expertise and wealth of experience in moderating high-level events, we are confident that she will guide us in our discussion with skill and grace. Professor Nada, we thank you for your invaluable role in facilitating today's symposium and ensuring that we make the most of this wonderful opportunity. At this point, I'd like to hand the floor over to Professor Nada, who will officially guide us through the sessions ahead. Now, without further delay, I pass the floor to Professor Nada to kick off our symposium. Thank you and good job.
Thank you. Thank you, respected Professor Dr. James. Thank you for this opportunity once again. And now it is time to start our amazing conference. First, esteemed respected Professor Dr. Dr. Sikam and Prof. Thank you, Dr. Sikam, for organizing this very important special conference. Professor Dr. Sikam El-Kafat, she's Director in Business Consulting, Wells Research Consultancy, the Limited Vice Chancellor of the New Zealand Vision for Excellence International University, IAU Regional Director, European Continental Director, Oceania Region. Professor Sikam is an entrepreneur, thought leader, inspiring mentor, influential speaker, international trailblazer, meticulous editor, adult educator specialist, motivational force, and multifaceted scholar. She's a distinguished scholar and she has a PhD in environmental management, a master's in education, a master's of public administration, bachelor of English literature with honor. Her academic prowess is reflected in the publication hundreds of articles in esteemed journal, insightful book chapters, effective proceedings. Additionally, she actively shaped the academic landscape, serving on the editorial board various national journals, as well as contributing expertise to examination board and board. Before establishing her own business consulting, Arose Research Consultancy Limited, she held various academic positions as a head of academic faculty in business finance and English, director of research, senior lecturer and guest lecturer in various universities, tertiary institutes overseas, New Zealand, Melbourne Online, United Kingdom, Singapore, to manage this to the University of Waikato, Medical Institute of Technology, Leicester University, New Zealand, Southern Cross University in Australia, American University in Paris. We can talk about Dr. Sikam till tomorrow, but now, Dr. Sikam, let's enlighten us with your amazing speech. You are welcome. Please unmute yourself, Dr. Sikam.
Thank you very much, Professor Nada. It's a pleasure to be with you here, everybody. Thanks for accepting to moderate this symposium and that event. Thanks, Professor James, for your wonderful introduction and for motivating all of us. And without you, we are all collaborating here because of you and because of your leadership. And it's a wonderful topic to talk about today, which is educational leadership. Thanks for colleagues, thanks for attendees, thanks for everybody for joining us today in order to share and to collaborate with each other, talking about a very important topic, which is educational leadership, and that touches our lives, it touches our students, and it touches lots of stakeholders and, of course, educational institutions. I would like to share with you I hope that everybody can see my screen.
Yes, we see your presentation, but please can you put it
I'm
like
trying to, yes, I'm trying to
it's
enlarge
great.
it.
It is great.
Yeah. So the title, please, of my presentation is Navigating Integrity. It's ethical leadership in education for trust and accountability. When I used to teach this topic, we talk a lot about ethics and ethical leadership. It's a very important topic to tackle because lots of things are built or impact on it. So I'm going to talk today about ethics and integrity in education and leadership, the significance of ethical leadership in education, defining what are ethical standards and the strategies to uphold those standards, and then addressing how it helps us to address ethical dilemmas and decision-making frameworks. And then how are we going to cultivate trustworthiness? Just demonstrate a couple of case studies and then conclude. So the objective today of this presentation is to talk about educational leadership and to have insights and strategies that we all need in order to embed ethics and integrity in our role as educational leaders. So we will examine the significance of ethical standards and integrity within the context of educational leadership. We'll talk about the strategies to address ethical dilemmas, what are the different approaches to build a culture of trust and honesty within our institutions. So when we talk about all those real examples, we are going to look at practical frameworks and how this is going to help us to provide educational leadership within these principles and their impact on us. So simply, what is ethics? It's in educational leadership, it's referring to the guiding principles, the moral values that shape the leader's decisions and actions, ensuring fairness, respect, and responsibility. If we're going to look at integrity, it is the quality of the constantly aligning these actions with the ethical values and demonstrating honesty and accountability in all aspects of leadership. So if we are going to look at them, they are actually the pillars, both ethics and integrity, the pillars of educational leadership. Why do we say that? Because we as leaders, we want to create an environment of trust, fairness, and transparency, which is extremely important if we want to build and connect with our students, our staff, and our wider community. So accordingly, we need to have a specific ethical standards that we are bound by that impacts on our behavior in our everyday life and also in our, whether it's in a personal or professional, because we would like to shape a responsible and an accountable environment. So what is the significance of ethical leadership in education context? It is actually shaping our behavioral attitudes, our values, and that impacts on our relationships with our students, the faculty, and the wider community, as I mentioned. So this actually provides us the ability to influence and inspire others. How would we do that? By acting with honesty, acting with fairness, and with respect. And this is going to create a positive and inclusive educational environment for everybody interested. So how does this impact on our students? If we take it one by one, it actually encourages our students to adopt similar values. If they look at us as their leaders, and we are the role models, then they will emulate our values, our behavior in their personal and also academic life. So when we consistently behave like that in front of them, that will encourage them to act like that accordingly. So we are extending also this beyond the classroom. So it's not only to act like that in the classroom, but also to develop it outside in their personal lives and also to create these ethical citizens in our society. Also, how is this impacting on faculty? It's fostering professional environment where all the faculty members are empowered. They are empowered to make ethical decisions, whether it's in their teaching activities, whether it's in the research, or whether it's with their interactions as faculty members with each other, or with management, or with their students. And this is going to be viewed through their transparency, whether it's to do with resource allocation, whether it's to do with academic decision making, or any other interaction which is going to be fair and equitable. So let us look at what is the ethical standards that we're talking about. It actually refers to the set of moral principles that guides us as leaders. It guides our actions, which is impacting on our decision making within these educational institutes. So why it's important? Because it ensures that there is fairness, there is transparency, and there is respect in all aspects of our leadership, which is permeated through the staff members and also all the institutional policies and procedures to assist us on solid decision making, which is important for our educational institutions. That brings us to integrity. We need to have integrity in our decision making, which refers to the consistency of our actions, our values, our methods, and the measures and the principles. So if the leaders have got integrity in making their decision, this is going to impact on their decision legally, also morally, and this is going to be reflected in their commitment to fairness, honesty, and responsibility. Some of the strategies for us that we need to actually adopt in our educational institutes to uphold those ethical standards could be to develop and communicate clear code of ethics. Most of organizations, if not all of them, they do have a clear set of code of ethics. What are the things that are acceptable, not acceptable, and it can be as detailed as possible to be clear for the students, for the staff, for the outside community too. Also embed ethics in curriculum and teaching practices. There are lots of courses nowadays that actually teaches ethics as a subject by itself. Also promoting transparent decision-making processes. So everybody would trust the process, would know that it's going to be fair. When it's transparent, everybody knows what are the steps, what's being done. That makes it easy to trust the process. And also implement regular ethics audits and reviews to make sure, are we following what we said we are going to do? If not, take the corrective action and the preventative action to keep it on track all the time, and create channels for reporting on ethical violation. That is extremely important. And also model the ethical behavior ourselves. That is extremely important. So that if everybody sees it's being modeled, it's actually in practice, as the local saying, practice what you're preaching, as simple as that. So if we're going to look at addressing ethical dilemmas, it's very important that this is made through all parts and aspects within the organization, whether it's in our interaction and relationship with each other, whether following the policies and procedures or allocating the different resources. There are different frameworks that are popular, which is being used in order to refer to or to decide which ones as a leader we are going to use in our decision making. These are some of them: the utilitarianism, the virtue ethics, the ethical relativism, and the ethics of care. So if we're going to look at the utilitarianism, it looks to maximize the overall happiness and the well-being for the greatest number of people. So when a leader is trying to make a decision, they need to look at how the biggest number is going to benefit the students, the staff, the wider community, everybody looking at this angle that everybody is going to actually benefit. Having said that, sometimes there can be a drawback for this framework because it might overlook the rights and the interests of the minority. So leaders should be cautious when choosing that framework. The other framework is the virtue ethics, which is actually concentrates on the traits, the characteristics, the good values of the leader. So the leader has to make sure when they're making any decisions, they're being honest, they're being fair, they are being courageous, and they are being compassionate. So also, they are focusing not only in the outcome, but actually the moral integrity of the decision-making process. So this is in order to cultivate the biggest virtues when they are deciding on their decision-making for the best for everybody. The third one is the ethical realism. And this is a moral judgment. It is not absolute. It is depending on the philosophy that it depends on the cultural, social, and individual context. So the leaders are looking from a wider perspective. They're looking at the cultural context of the different communities that they are dealing with. So they have to consider the different point of views of these different people, their backgrounds and their culture before they make any decision. Because sometimes there are cultural sensitivities that can impact in their decisions. There's also the ethics of care, and this emphasizes relationships and empathy and moral importance while taking care of others or while making their decision. It stresses on the need for leaders to prioritize the well-being, the students, the faculty, and the staff by fostering an environment where people feel valued and supported. And this is actually extremely important for the morale of everybody included in this framework. So in order to establish trust within the educational community, this is extremely important because that is the crux and the foundation of relationships. So trust here is a key issue, and it is very important within the process of decision making in order to it will impact on the behavior around the community. So that leads us to honesty. You want to have trust of people and earn them, then you need to have honesty. You need to build this culture of honesty within your educational institution by encouraging people to be honest, to be transparent, to be open in all different levels of their ethical behavior. So what are the strategies to cultivate this trustworthiness is that we need to have regular ethics training and professional development for everybody included within the organization. We need to also provide mentorship beside the role modeling. And we need to create a safe haven for everybody to provide constructive and honest feedback so that nobody would fear that there will be repercussions if they are being honest in their feedback, and also so that everybody collaborating and having accountabilities and having regular ethical audits. I'd like to share with you a couple of case studies. One is a positive one, and that was a principal in a school who was actually dealing with students with diverse socioeconomic backgrounds. She faced a lot of challenges, but she was able, through her leadership, to reduce the gap between the students from different backgrounds, which actually was very rewarding and positive. It increased the graduate rates, and it also fostered a culture of trust and respect within her school. So what would we learn from this case is that the ethical decision making permeated the fairness and equity in her decision making. There was transparency and open communication, which made it easy to be trusted and understood, and also the commitment to the values of fairness and equity was actually very commendable in this case. The other case is totally opposite, which was in a university, a well-known university, and it was actually a scandal, a disaster. The head of the university there actually did illegal issues by giving senior staff some of the rewards and without actually them deserving it. It was an ethical lapse on the side, and it actually created a scandal for the whole university, and it tarnished the reputation of the university. So what we learn from this case is the lack of transparency, failing to communicate the decisions, making favoritism, holding leaders accountable to an ethical decision is actually very crucial to learn from this case. And also, we need to understand that ethical leadership matters because the entire institute suffered from such actions and it really deteriorated the morale and the reputation of the university. So, in conclusion, remember that choices we make as educational leaders today actually shape the leaders of tomorrow. We need to uphold the values of ethics, integrity, and trust. Ethical leadership is not just a responsibility, it's actually a privilege. It's a privilege to influence lives, guide minds, and build a future grounded in fairness, respect, and truth. Thank you very, very much. I hope I didn't take a lot of time. Thank you. Thank you. Professor Nada, we cannot hear you. I think you're talking, right? We can't hear you.
Probably she has sound issues.
Yeah, she's muted on the phone. Her phone is not supposed to be muted. Yeah, because the sound comes from her phone actually, not from her computer.
While she is working on the sound device, let me use this opportunity to welcome Professor Hubert Watongoka Lutala, who is the Congo National Representative of Vision for Excellence in the National University. He's also director of Simon Kimbangu University in Congo Democratic, where I am employed as a professor. Professor Hubert is with us today. We say thank you for your presence, sir. We also express our gratitude for the presence of Professor Ujgwal, our daddy and my icon from India. Welcome, sir. Over to you, Professor Nada, if the device is repaired.
Yes, sir. I was muted on the mobile. Somebody muted me. Okay, so I want to say more things about Dr. Sikam. So navigating integrity, ethical leadership in education for trust and accountability. A very crucial topic, Dr. Sikam. Talk about the ethics and integrity, importance about the educational leadership, about the dilemmas, and that is something that we really need to uh, educate our students. So these strategies, these dimensions of ethical and this amazing case studies. So what is we need to know what is ethics and what is the integrity. And Dr. Siham really gave us about this and gave us the impact on the faculty, the impact on the students. Her first case study, the ethical leadership in action, a principles commitment to equity. So if she said that reducing the achievement gap between students from different backgrounds increase graduation rates. So it really fosters a culture of trust and respect within the school. So this case studies has the ethical decision making, the transparency, the commitment to the values. And another case studies the consequences of ethical lapses. So what about the university leadership scandal? She talked about this, she showed us what can be happen. So Dr. Seekham concludes that ethical leadership isn't just a responsibility, it's a privilege. It's a privilege to influence the lives, to guide the minds, to build a future grounded to fairness. Thank you. Thank you, great Dr. Seekham. Thank you for your amazing, amazing presentation.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Professor Nada. God bless you. Thank you.
So let us move to Pakistan. We have with us our amazing professor, Professor Husnain. Professor Husnain, you are welcome. Did we, Dr. Professor Husnain, you can please introduce yourself in few lines because I don't have nothing.
Okay, I think we have been together since long.
Okay, but it's all right. Professor is renowned professor, so please.
Yeah, here I am, Hasnan Makhdoom. We are having friends who have been together in previous time. I have been working in education sector since 2016. Currently, I'm working as visiting professor at Rifa International University, Pakistan. Moreover, I have collaboration with
Professor
some
Husnain,
institutions.
can you put a full screen, please? Can you put a full screen? Can you try?
Didn't get it?
Full screen. Can you put a full screen?
Okay.
Press F5. F5 button,
Mm.
it will turn to full screen.
Okay. Thank you.
It is not full screen yet.
Uh,
You first click.
Is it now?
no,
No,
you
it's
need to click here on this, what we see yellow, get gratitude. Maybe he don't see that because it is enabled to make full screen.
that
Yeah,
get
it is full
genuine
screen on
office.
my side.
No,
I
it's
just
not.
suggest you something. Please click on the slideshow and start the slideshow. So you are currently in the editing mode. Please click on slideshow and you will be able to slide the complete screen. Next to the button animations, you will see slideshow written.
Seven tab. Eight tab. Just next to animation.
Yes. So you will see slideshow and then click on
Yes.
slideshow. The slideshow will begin. Thanks.
Is it okay now?
No, it is the
Down there.
same. It is the
When you
same.
go down,
मखदूम सर और एल्स यू कैन जो फंक्शन कीज होते हैं फर्स्ट रो ऑफ योर लैपटॉप में फंक्शन की में F5 का जो बटन है ना F5 उसको प्रेस कर देंगे तो भी वो इसमें शुरू हो जाएगा वो स्लाइड शो में
Is it now?
सबसे
No.
ऊपर वाला रो में सबसे ऊपर वाला
F5. F5.
I just pressed F5.
Okay, then go down in the slideshow that there is नीचे आपके राइट हैंड में जो है वो भी उसमें से भी हो सकता है you
या आपका ऊपर होम बटन है ना सर
जी
I think it's necessarily starting and go. It's okay, I think.
I think it's
आपका ऊपर का जो ऑरेंज कलर का पट्टा दिख रहा है ना सबसे टॉप में वहां इंसर्ट उसके बाजू में ड्रॉ डिजाइन ट्रांजिशन एनिमेशन और उसके बाजू में स्लाइड शो लिखा हुआ है हाँ उसको क्लिक कर स्लाइड शो हाँ उधर स्लाइड शो हाँ उधर ही ऊपर स्लाइड शो ऊपर और थोड़ा हाँ करेक्ट अभी यहाँ से फ्रॉम बिगनिंग उसके नीचे इधर आइए यहाँ हाँ हो जाएगा अभी
अब ठीक है
ओ फ्रॉम बिगनिंग को प्रेस करिए ना
It's okay. Let us let Dr. Husnain start. It seems that he cannot put it.
No.
Okay.
Please click on from the beginning. Dr. Husnain, please click on from the beginning and the slideshow will begin.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
Is it
Good
okay?
going.
Okay, thank you. So thank you everyone for having me here with you. My heartfelt gratitude to the whole team of this organization for arranging such a splendid leadership program. Here I shall be giving my input on the crucial topic of emotional intelligence in emotional educational leadership, which will surround all the key areas of educational leadership, emotional intelligence proposed. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. Propose leadership methods and the role of a leader along with the efforts of his team in an organization. So, emotional intelligence and educational leadership development. Leadership development is the process of enhancing an individual's ability and emotional intelligence to perform in a leadership role within an organization. So, I'm of the view that emotional intelligence becomes the base of every other quality. So, leadership roles are those that help an
Dr.
organization.
Hussain, please can you change the slide? Can you change the slide? Go through the presentation little. It is still on your bio.
Okay, why is it so?
Try to move through the slides. Okay, now we see the first emotional intelligence in leadership development.
Okay, is it okay now?
Yes, but you need to go through them. Yes, okay, you can continue.
Okay. Leadership roles are those that help an organization's strategy be carried out by fostering alignment, gaining mind share, and developing the talents of others. When focusing on leadership development, you develop the skill set need to better perform roles in leadership positions. There is no one size fits all approach to leadership development. This is particularly true with emotional intelligence leadership coaching, which is the most effective way to accelerate leadership performance. Leadership coaching is a tailored approach utilizing emotional intelligence assessments of your staff, of your faculty members when you are developing a leadership within an organization. So, individualized goals and one on one relationships. For example, we are all here, we are leading in our educational sector, we develop different faculty members, we train them. So we must have some sessions one on one, that is a relationship to understand their emotional intelligence level, then to develop it to a certain level that is required by the organization, which is a big part of its impact. So, effective leaders are emotionally intelligent, that is important, and able to motivate not only people they formally lead but engage peers and others over whom they lack any formal authority. They because first they are themselves emotional intelligent, then they improve, then they develop emotional intelligence in others in the faculty members. Here is a leadership visual presentation that how leadership is linked with emotional intelligence and how it leads in an educational sector. So a leader, we can say edu leader or educational leader who has a vision. He has a base of emotional intelligence and he contributes towards the organization. He takes the responsibility, and sense of responsibility comes when you are emotional intelligent. And emotional intelligent person is always have a self motivation, and he becomes a source of inspiration for others. He is a mentor, he has ethics, he has influence on others. Only we can have influence on others when we are emotionally intelligent. We can support others, support in many ways: emotional support, financial support, moral support, and the base is emotional intelligence. Decision making is one of the important segments in leadership, because decisions affect any organization. So, if you are emotionally intelligent, you can make good decisions. You can handle your emotions, you can handle your stress, you can handle your tension. So, you will be able to make good decisions. And when you make good decisions, you will be able to have excellent management. Then, communication is always a two-way process in which we convey ideas, we get ideas, and we have to, because we are human beings, we always involve emotions in our communication, in our working style. So, if we are emotionally intelligent, we can handle our own emotions and we can handle others' emotions as well. So, what makes you a good edu leader? The leadership development definition revolves around the following five features: self awareness and emotional intelligence. That is the first one. Leadership growth promotes self reflection and helps individual to understand their strengths and weakness, to develop a strong sense of self awareness and emotional intelligence. We are human beings, we face a lot of problems. We work, we understand others, but we don't try to understand ourselves. Sometimes we hide our emotions, sometimes we are unable to express our emotions at the right place, at the right time, in a right way. That is the actual problem with ourselves, when we are not aware of ourselves and when we are not emotionally intelligent. Then, practical application. It emphasizes practical and experiential learning approaches. It allows you to apply your emotional intelligence in real world scenarios, case studies, through projects and assignments. So, emotional intelligence gives us a sense of practical application, that how we must be practical, we must be rational in our real lives. When we are emotionally intelligent, we can control, we can handle our emotions when we are doing something right. So, mentoring and coaching. Mentoring and coaching makes you a good leader in educational sector. Leadership building often involves mentoring and coaching relationships. Emotional intelligent leaders provide guidance, feedback to help individuals improve their leadership capabilities. An emotionally intelligent leader first understands his own emotions, controls his emotions, and puts them on secondary level. His primary level is his rationale, and in the same way, he develops others. Leadership ethics and values. It highlights the importance of education, ethical leadership, integrity, and value driven decision making. This is to develop leaders who prioritize ethical behavior and emotional intelligence. We are in a circle of leadership, we are in a nutshell where we are developing other leaders because we are leaders. So, first, we must have an ethical behavior and emotional intelligence. Long term perspective. It recognizes that leadership growth is an ongoing process. It is not a one time event. We keep on learning, we keep on developing ourselves. So, leadership skills are supposed to be refined throughout careers, not in an instance. We are at any stage of our life, we are at any age, we must be a learning student. So,
Just a moment, please. Please mute yourself, all. Uh, Dr. Husnayan, and please let us take a limit of the time. Please let us be a little shorter. All only 10 minutes we have for each
okay,
speaker.
okay, okay, let me
And
wind it up. So, an educational leader is an individual who motivates a group of people to work towards a common goal. They inspire others by providing directions, making decisions, and acting as an example for the team. A leader takes a vision and converts it into reality while collaborating with the team. Leaders require to have an emotional intelligence and characteristics so individuals in the team are motivated. So I'm coming to the last, why emotional intelligence in educational leadership is important. So emotional intelligence is a vital component of effective educational leadership. Builds relationships. Emotional intelligence helps leaders create better relationships with students, teachers, and school community. Creates a positive environment. Emotional intelligence helps leaders create a positive learning environment and school culture. It helps leaders make more balanced and informed decisions. Emotional intelligence helps leaders inspire and motivate staff and students. It helps leaders adapt to change and promote innovation. It improves academic performance. Schools with emotionally intelligent leaders and teachers tend to have higher levels of student engagement and academic performance. So, here is the last, that is a visual presentation, that it is self awareness, motivating oneself and others, empathy, managing emotions, and social skills. Thank you so much, Dr. Nada and others.
Thank you. Thank you, respected Professor Dr. Hussain. It was really amazing. And what I want to say, this topic, what you have, emotional intelligence today, very crucial. I like the way how you explain us about all the characteristics and functions of the leadership. So if we are not responsible, if we don't give the contribution, if we are not motivated, mentor, ethical, influencer, and team workers support to decisioner, we cannot handle this emotional intelligence. So for us, it is today very crucial. And if we want to be a good edu leader, as you say, we need to follow the self-awareness, emotional intelligence, the practical application, mentoring, and coaching. So this is really crucial, and why emotional intelligence in education leadership is important. So it is very important, especially today when we are talking about burnout. We need to know how to handle our private and professional life. And that is, I think, the biggest problem for all adult leaders today. Amazing, really amazing. You make it really great. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
your
you
great speech
so
and
much.
presentation. Now, before I move to another speaker, I want to really welcome Professor Hubert Watangaka, the national representative of VEIU in Congo. Also, I want to welcome Professor Lucien Mudunga, a member of VIO from Congo. You are really welcome. You are really welcome, and we are honored to have you here with us on this amazing conference. Welcome. Now, from Pakistan, we are moving to India. We have we have a famous great professor, Professor Ujjwal Anu Chaudhary. Today, he has a great and important topic, change management in education. So, first, I want to say a few words about our great Professor Ujjwal. He is currently the Vice President of Global Marketing, International Relations, and Media Design Education at Washington University of Science and Technology, based out of Virginia. He has been a Pro Vice Chancellor of Kolkata based at Adams University, the Dean of Symbiosis Immersive Universities, the Pearl Academy, Whistling Wood International of India. He had been he had Organization Times of India Group, the Z News, the Business World. He runs a school for the talented children of marginalized fishermen families in Sundarban of Bengal and Bangladesh here. Professor Ujjwal, uh, welcome and enlighten us with your great topic. Let us hear about how to change management in education. This is very important.
Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to
Uh,
friends here.
Dr. Husnain, please can you stop your presentation?
Yes, Dr. Husnain, please take out the. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Some of you I have met very recently, that many of you are meeting after a long time. Let me first share my presentation. Are you able to see my presentation?
Yes, it is great.
Right. Leading change in education, a strategic approach. This I have been facing personally a lot, many times. I have had around 7 jobs in various educational institutions. Couple of times they were new institutions to start from scratch, and most of the times they were existing ones, and change management had to be done. So we'll go ahead with the presentation where we look at how change management and what aspects can be done. So the agenda today is to understand the importance of change in educational landscape, like let's say adapting to technological advances. After the pandemic, every institute in the world has gone online, and there is a blended learning as well. So this is a change. Evolving pedagogical methods. For example, earlier it was chalk and talk, now it's all PowerPoint. Earlier it was you speak, you give notes, they memorize, they give exams, but now it's assignment based, project based evaluation. Student needs have changed. Earlier it was degree, increasingly it's about jobs or entrepreneurship. So how do you manage these changes that's happening around? Leading through transition and managing resistance to change. Sometimes there is change resistance as well. Who does this resistance? We'll come to that later on. Effective change management strategies in education, including leadership. Change begins from the top. I have to change myself before asking anyone. Best practices that we can take from others and communicating change. Why this change? How this change? Communication. Effectively communicating change and best practices therein. So these are the themes that we will focus. So understanding resistance to change. Let's define change management and its importance in education. So to save time, I'll not go into the theoretical models. There's a Kubler-Ross model. Anyone can check it out. That's one model that talks about change management with special reference to education. Identify the reasons of resistance. So people resist because they don't know the unknown. There is a fear of unknown. The unknown may be great, may be better, but they fear. Perceived loss of control. If I have partial, quarter, or full control over something, I would be resisting change because I might lose the control. An increased workload. Many people think change means more workload. For example, today, there is a plethora of AI tools coming in education. And the old school people like us, the 50 plus guys, the 45 plus guys, are scared. There's no reason. Actually, if you start using 7 or 8 most common AI tools, your work is actually much lesser, faster. But there is a fear that the workload will increase. Acknowledge concerns, emphasize the importance of validating concerns to create a culture of trust. If we first understand, while we are bringing in the change, that people are scared, and we start with the concern, you have nothing to be afraid, your workload is not increasing, your whatever power or control or responsibility is not increasing, not decreasing, there will be a qualitative change in that only. Then only we can begin the change. Strategies, build a vision. Why this change? So, for example, when I took over one of the institutions, one very well-known university's media department, the major problem was there was not much infrastructure and there was not good placement status or placement records. So the students after their courses were not often very well placed. So many people went back to home, some small jobs here and there. And the vision I had to put is that, one, let's make our education more in the lab and studio, less in the class. So let's make it practical. And second, everyone must have 2 internships, one in the social sector, one in the commercial organization, so that there is higher placement. So you moved to a new vision, creating clear, compelling vision for why the change is necessary and how it aligns with the broad educational goals. A visionary leadership is one who sets a clear vision and mission. Communicating the why is important. Do this is not right. Why to do that? Explaining that is important. Once we explain the why, in our journalism world, we have 5 W's, 1 H and 1 W. What is the 5 W's? What do I want you to do? What? When? When should that be done? In what ways? I mean, ways will come later. When? Time. Where? Where will we bring this change? Who? Who are the people involved in the change? Why? Why is this change required? How will it benefit as far as income, as far as workload, as far as impact, as far as reputation, as far as higher intake of students, all these, why the changes are important for that, and how then phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 for the change. You cannot bring 26 changes in one go. It has to be phases. And then after the changes are brought in, what next? So 5 Ws, 1 H, and what next? If you clearly put it, it inspires and motivates the stakeholders. Empathy and support. Along the process, I cannot be talking about what I want people to do. I cannot be also talking about why I want people to do that. I must also listen to what their reactions are. Someone has a problem in understanding concepts. Someone has a problem with technology. Someone has a problem of health. Someone has a problem of team spirit. Now, I need to actively listen and understand the concerns and then provide necessary training. Someone do not know the use of AI. So I need to really provide necessary training and resources, offering emotional support and reassurance. Nothing doing, you are highly qualified. Only that you need to know these two technologies to be faster. These two technologies do not define your knowledge, but these two technologies help you to do it better. So that's how emotional support and reassurance is required. Then strategies for leading to transition. In other points, engage the stakeholders. Now, change cannot be brought by one. A vision can be seen by one, but the change has to be brought by many. So involve teachers, students, and parents in planning stages to build ownership and trust. I would like to make a difference between accountability and ownership. Accountability, when I cannot do one thing or I have a problem, I report to my boss, is accountability. But I go back to my boss with 3 solutions for the problem, what resources required and all, and how I am so keen to solve it. I just want a decision from my boss about one of those 3 solutions. That is ownership. In ownership, I am keen to solve it because it's my job. It's my work. I'm working for an organization, but it's my job. Professionally, I'm responsible. That's ownership. Accountability, I have a problem, I report it, I'm done. So accountability will come when engagement is there of the stakeholders. When leadership support is there, I know if I take the issues and the solutions possible, my boss will give a patient hearing and give me a solution or give me the choice that I have to do. So provide leadership support, model adaptability and positivity. Anything that has happened in one institute cannot be exactly done in the other. The approach may be same, but we need to be flexible and adaptable to the actual ground reality in the second place with a positive mind. Yes, we can do it, but we can do it the way it is required now by this institute, by these people. So adaptability and positivity should go together. Now, one of the things that, as I said, resistance comes, and proactive communication can reduce the resistance. Transparent and timely communication. Do not surprise your people with additional burden of work or burden of any other aspect. Now, you give a surprise party, it's okay. You say that we celebrate this successful small transition, it's okay. That's fine. But do not surprise with additional work without a transparent and timely communication. Addressing rumors, one of the biggest problems in today's world, particularly in digital communication, is the birth, generation, and spread, dissemination of rumors and misinformation. So there is something called fake news. I say, if it is fake, it cannot be news. If it is news, it cannot be fake. So basically false content, misinformation. Now, when misinformation is about, I want the institute to start at 10 and the information shared is 10:30, it is a bit of harmless information, misinformation. But then there is disinformation. Disinformation is something that is completely ruining some activity. But there is also malinformation, which can create loss of dignity to a lady or a man, which can create even agitated people beating up, lynching others. So disinformation is even worse. But in institutions, there may not be disinformation. There may be mis and disinformation. And it needs to be addressed at the very beginning. Encouraging open dialogue and feedback. Open dialogue. Now, if people are scared of telling what they feel to me, I fail as a leader. Now, if they are bold enough to tell what they feel to me, my first point of encouraging open dialogue is done. Yes, we may have a dialogue, but somewhere we have to conclude. And when we have concluded, everyone must accept it. That's fine. But allow the people to talk. Now, this often said in India, your problem is half solved if you are in a police station or hospital. Either it's a situation of crime or situation of health. Your problem is half solved if a patient policeman or a patient doctor listens to you. Listening solves the problem half. Involving stakeholders, empathy and listening, empower and involve. These are various ways to manage your resistance. Celebrating success is very, very important to celebrate every little success. Training and professional development. Without giving additional training for new technologies, you cannot bring change management and technological integration. For example, across all campuses today, digital learning, blended learning, and AI-enabled learning is required to be training. Best practices now, without getting into details because first bell has rung, so I'll go fast. And these presentations are anyways shared with the university view, and they can also share with others. Best practices for implementing new policies, technologies, and methodologies must be brought in. Assess the needs, goals, perform a needs assessment. Before change, needs assessment. Set measurable goals. Goals which are vague do not bring in change. Developing a comprehensive implementation plan. As I said, 5Ws, 1H, and 1W. Adequate resources, create supportive organizational culture, implementation planning, pilot programs. Do not bring the full program, bring a pilot program, a small part, and then take it to the bigger. Phased rollout. Establish clear roles. Many institutions do not have a KRA, KPA, key result area, key performance area of even the leaders and those who are at a younger level for all. So KRA, KPA is another part of change management. Provide ongoing support, training, workshop, and professional development, mentorship, and peer support. I'm going fast to save time, but I'm sure you understand as academics how these practices will bring in change. Evaluate and iterate, continuous feedback loops, benchmark and measure success. Now, there are several benchmarking, HR benchmarking, university benchmarking, participation in international rating ranking. All these actually create where we stand. It gives it. And finally, communicating effectively during times of change. Establish clear, transparent communication channel, regular update, multi-channel, meeting, email, forum, newsletter, town hall meets. It should be multi-channel, not just one channel. Craft and write message, emphasize the why. I have told that. Tailor messages to audiences. For teachers, it will be a different message for the same change. For students, it was to be from the student point of view. For parents, it will be something else. So encourage open dialogue and feedback. I have already talked about it. Conclusion and call to action is the last slide. Reinforce the importance of leadership, structured implementation, and effective communication. Encourage growth mindset. Now, when I say these rules don't allow me, oh, I cannot do this because I have never done that, these are all static mindset, stuck mindset, growth mindset. These rules today don't allow. Let's sit together and create new rules. Oh, I did not do this. Tell me how to do. Let me do once and I'll be able to do. That's growth mindset. Highlight that change, though challenging, can lead to positive transformation in education and student outcomes. Thank you for your patience. I would like to come back to the program itself and listen to others. It's indeed interesting to meet all of you here. I had to speak a bit fast because the bell had rung and I do not want to grab the time of other speakers. But change management is a great challenge of times that we are in, particularly in the context of digital technology and artificial intelligence sweeping across the entire economy, education nevertheless. Thank you, VIU, for allowing me to speak to you.
Thank you. Thank you, respected Professor Ujwal. Thank you for your great speech, for your great presentation on the topic leading change in education and giving us the strategic approach. We really understand better the resistance to the change. You define all things. You gave us the best practices, how to implement new policies, the technologies and methodologies with the needs, with the goals, with the with how to develop this, and this best practices like clear rules, implementing planning, pilot programs, and other. And this is great. You gave us a conclusion, a call to action. We really need to act. And today on this great platform, I'm sure all educators are acting, are really acting, not only talking. So we are encouraging all the educators for a growth mindset, as you say. So we need to highlight the change. We need to challenge this, and we need to lead with this positive transformation and outcomes. A big clap to you, Professor Ujwal. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, from India, we still are in India. We have an amazing educator, Dr. Rajanikant Ribat from India. Today, his topic is technology leadership in modern education. So let us hear a few things about this amazing educator. He's a passionate educator dedicated to foster a dynamic and supportive classroom environment where every student thrives, with a strong commitment to personalized instruction, specialized in creating stimulating learning atmospheres. He has a big professional experience at the Bhavans College, Mumbai. His responsibilities is he's instructing the undergraduate students. He's conducted teachers training programs. He is setting clear objectives for the lesson. So he is really amazing. If we talk about the hard skills, soft skill, leadership, communication, time management, innovation, then hard skill training, curricular development, research management, digital integration. But Professor Nada can also talk about him till tomorrow. So you are welcome. You are welcome, respected professor. Professor Raji, do you hear us?
Yes, I can. Am I audible?
Okay, welcome. Yes, you are welcome.
And, I hope my presentation is visible to all on the screen.
It is great.
It is shared now, full screen. Yeah, now
Yes,
it's in.
it is great. Great.
Yes. Good afternoon, dignitaries from India. This is Dr. Raj Bhatt from Bhavans College. I'm a master trainer for Maharashtra State, associated with Teachers Training Program for teachers in my state. In past, we have trained millions of teachers. I'm mentor for IT in school education for my state. And I have devised several pedagogical things for my state. Today, I'll be discussing the impact of technology leadership in education. I have, as most of the speakers, they have already enlightened us with a lot of content. So I'm presenting very crisp presentation on this unit. So enhancing learning outcomes through effective technological integration. The guiding key factor is guiding technology integration. Here, leaders will play a crucial role in helping school to adopt technology effectively to foster a better learning environment. Now, enhancing learning outcome. What is enhancing learning outcome? So you need to strategically and technologically use direct support to educational objectives, which will lead to improve student performance. Effective leaders will always align technology initiative with overall educational mission to ensure relevance and its impact on education system. The use of technology can increase student interest and participation, making learning more interactive and more enjoyable. So here, what are the role? Number one, there has to be some vision development, means crafting a clear vision for integration of technology in education. What exactly you need to do here? You have to create appropriate policies for establishing policies that govern the effective use of technology in school. And in addition to that, there has to be some sort of infrastructure support, ensuring that technological infrastructure will meet all your educational needs and objectives. The role of leaders again puts some emphasis on collaboration with educators. Means if you work closely with teachers to seamlessly integrate technology into curriculum, then it will help us in several ways. Efficient technology integration, implementing technology solution that enhances learning and teaching effectiveness. The essential competencies for driving innovation in modern education are: number one, strategic thinking. Dr. Ujjwal Anu Chaudhary has already enlightened us about this, which says ability to formulate a long-term plan and align technology intuitives with educational goals. Then second, we have to take into account technological trends and awareness. Means you need to stay updated with emerging technologies to enhance educational practices. And at the same time, you must have effective communication, means skill in conveying ideas clearly and precisely, engagingly to various stakeholders in educational sector. Further, understanding of pedagogy, means you should have deep knowledge of educational principle to effectively integrate technology in learning. Then change management, proficiency in guiding organization through transition and adapting to new technologies, and fostering innovation. That is cultivating an environment that encourages creativity and experimentation among educators and students. The challenges generally which are faced are resistance to change, strategic planning, then there are budget constraints, then ongoing professional development, and equitable access. Means many educators and staff may resist adopting to new technologies, fearing disruption to establish. Then effective integration requires comprehensive planning to align technology with educational goals. So sometimes there are like older generation which are not very much comfortable with emerging trends and new technological advances. They have some sort of phobia and psychophiles. Then there is also budget constraint on most of the institute, that they have limited financial resources, and that can hinder implementation of necessary technology upgrades. Continuous training is essential, but ongoing professional development is also at stake in some of the institute. And equitable access, ensuring all students and staff have equal access to technology, is crucial challenge in integrating technology. So to use this technology effectively, aligning technology with educational goal for improved learning outcomes covers align technology with educational goal, ensure that technology adopted directly supports the learning objective outlined by the educational institute. Ongoing training for educators is compulsory, which will provide continuous professional development to teachers, enabling them to effectively utilize technology in their daily practices or in their teaching practices. And foster collaborative environment, creates spaces that encourages collaboration among student and educator, enhancing learning experiences through shared technology use. Regular assessment of technology impact, then there has to be continuous conduct assessment to evaluate how technology is influencing learning outcome, and accordingly the strategies have to be made. There has to be some sort of innovative solution for engaging student. Nowadays, a lot of AI trend is there. Artificial intelligence, it can enhance personalized learning by adapting individual students' need. Then there is virtual reality, VR, which will provide immersive environment for students, allowing them to explore and to learn in unique ways. Then there is augmented reality, AR, that overlays digital information in real world setting, enriching the learning experience. Then there is real-time feedback as well. These technologies enable instant feedback, helping students to improve and adjust to their learning strategies. There are several risk factors. So we have to keep in mind certain things while building a technology-driven curriculum. Means how you will be integrating your digital tools for enhanced learning objectives. integration of digital tool. Digital tool will enhance engagement by supporting various learning strategies. Then there has to be interactive lessons utilizing software-based lessons, then animation-based lessons, which will increase interactivity among the student participation. Then there has to be some assessment software as well. So employing assessment software, it will help us evaluating student. At the same time, in rapid growing technological advancement, somewhere we need to balance our work and our life. So professional development of educator should take into account their personal growth, professional development. They have to focus on technical skills. Then they have to integrate pedagogical strategies in teaching learning process. Now, as we are advancing at very higher level in technology, so there will be future trends in educational technology, exploring the impact of AI, personalized learning, and blockchain in education, etc. Artificial intelligence is there, personalized learning environments are provided, integration blockchains are there. Then importance of technology leaders. Staying ahead of these trends is vital for technology leaders to drive innovation and maintain competitive advantage in education. Now, technology leader should aware of these things. Collaboration between educator and technologist has to be there. Alignment of goals should be there. Enhanced learning experiences should be there. Then there has to be shared expertise. There has to be professional development, and there has to be continuous improvement. What are do's in technology leadership? First and foremost thing is you have to set a clear vision. Then you have to invest in training. You have to promote digital equality. You have to foster collaboration. You have to stay updated. You have to focus on security. You have to focus on measuring impact, then support innovative practices. And what are don'ts? Avoid adopting technology just for sake of it, and don't neglect training. Ignore digital equity issues. Overloaded with technology. Disregarded feedback. Skimp up cybersecurity. Resist change. Underestimate maintenance cost. All these are don'ts. So avoid assuming that the person or all the person or teachers or the stakeholders, student, teachers, etc. will figure out own. For using any tool, training is must. Training is essential. Just imagine you have not taught someone how to drive, and if you hand over a Ferrari, what will happen? It will cause disaster. Failing to address disparities in access can deepen inequalities. Avoid deploying system without accounting for long-term update and support. Too many platforms or tools can always overwhelm students and teachers. Ignoring input from educators, students, and parents can lead to dissatisfaction and poor adaptation. So all these are don'ts. As we are progressing, I can only say we have to evolve and we have to explore use of ICT. Thank you.
Big clap to you, dear respected Professor Dr. Ajri. It was really a very important. So I think that we really need to know a lot about this impact of technology leadership in education. You gave us through this enhancing learning outcomes through the effective technology integration, showing the role of the technology leaders, how to collaborate, how to do. I like really these essential competencies. You show us the strategic thinking, effective communication, understanding the pedagogy, fostering innovations. So today we really learn a lot. We really learn a lot, and I hope when our educators also will watching this will understand better and know about the future trends in education technology. This will using technology, setting a clear vision, investing, staying updated. All these rules, which you gave to us, and to what to do or not to do, what to avoid. It was really, really great. Thank you. Thank you so much for your excellent speech and presentation. I didn't interrupt you, but please, I remind our speakers to take care about the time. We are already out of the time today. So now, our great Professor Baha from Egypt. Professor Baha, you are
Hello,
welcome.
you are welcome.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Today, our great Professor Baha will talk about mentorship and professional
Mentorship.
development.
Yes, that's true. I am getting from my phone, so we may face some problems. I wish not to
Not
face.
only you, Professor Nada is also with the laptop and with mobile.
Yes. This is my. Is it clear now to see?
It is small. We cannot see good, but it is from the mobile. Yes, if you put it big, then it is very small like this. So please, Professor Baha, you can talk.
Yeah.
You can talk. It is small.
Okay. It is clear now.
Rotate the screen. Baha sir, you can rotate the screen.
Yes.
Okay, I will rotate. Sorry for time. Okay, let's speak, please. First of all, I will speak about introduction about to mentorship. In today's educational landscape, mentorship is vital for fostering a professional development. Is voice clear? Hello?
Professor Baca, we see only the half of the slide, but you can speak. You can speak, so if you can.
Okay. Okay. This presentation will explore the importance of creating mentorship programs and leadership that empower educators to grow and succeed in their career. First of all, I will speak about importance of mentorship. Effective mentorship enhances teachers' relations and satisfactions by establishing supportive relationship. Educators can share experience, overcome challenges, and contribute to a positive school culture that promotes professional growth. It's a quick presentation, please. Defining a mentorship program. Mentorship programs are structured framework that connect experienced educators with those asking guidance. These programs focus on skill and development, emotional support, and the complexing of the teaching professional job at the job. The key of components of programs, successful mentorship programs include clear goals, training for mentor, and regular feedback sessions. These elements ensure that both mentors and the mentees benefit from the experience and contribute to ongoing improvement. Building a leadership pipelines. Leadership pipelines are pathways that identify and natural futures educational leadership or educational leader. By integrating mentorship into these pipelines, we can qualify skills and competence essential for effective leadership in schools. I try to make my presentations very quickly because I am in on-site conference. Identifying political leaders. Identify political leaders involves recognize educators who demonstrate initiative, passing, and a community to professional growth. These individuals can be grown for leadership roles through target monitor and uh, development opportunities. No one. Do you hear me? Please, someone
Yes, yes,
interact with me.
we hear you. We hear
Yeah.
you.
Anyone interact with me in order to be clear that you hearing me.
Yes, you are audible.
Yes.
Continue with your presentation. Yeah.
Creating a supportive culture. A supportive school culture is essential for successful mentorship that involve fostering open communications, collaborations, and shared visions for professional growth among educators at all levels on the school. Training mentors effectively. Effective mentor training equips experienced educators with the skill to guide and support their communities. Training should focus on active listening, providing constructive feedback, and fostering trust in the mentorship relationship. It's clear now. Setting clear expectations. Establishing clear expectations for both monitors and amenities in cycle. These include defining goals, communication styles, and the frequency of meetings to ensure a productive and beneficial mentorship experience. How to measuring success? To judge the effectiveness of mentorship program, it is important to establish a metric for success. This may include feedback, survey, relation rates, and the professional advancement of participate over the time. Challenge in mentorship. Mentorship programs may face challenges such as time constraints, mismatching partner, and the lack of administrative supporting. Addressing this challenge is uh, crucial for creating a sustainable member culture. I have a lot to say, but I am apologize. I will finish here. Okay.
It's okay. Great,
Okay, because
Professor Banka. No problem.
I
Thank
apologize for
you.
all because I have a lot of work today and I speak from on site. I have a meeting now on site and I have to go. Thank you for all.
No
Thank you for
problem. Thank
opportunity.
you. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And enjoy your day in Egypt. You are lucky. You have summer, still summer. Nada is Professor Nada. We
Yes,
are in Europe, freezing.
yes.
We have winter. We have winter, and our temperatures are under zero. So you know
Yeah,
you are up.
I have been in Romania last month.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Great. So
Thank
let
you,
us
bro.
move from Egypt to Denmark. We have with us our great Dr. Manuela Dan. Today, Dr. Manuela will talk about the communication strategies for effective leadership. Let us know a little bit about Dr. Manuela. She's a master SDU from Odense. She has a bachelor degree and in European integration at the Faculty of Political Studies at Padova, Italy. Her work experience, she's a manager, BNB Rosa de Venti Verda from Denmark, a present president of Fidesz in Denmark. She has home care assistant for Alzheimer patients in Italy, salesperson. We are really honored today to have our great Dr. Manuela with us. Welcome, Dr. Manuela. Enlighten us with your speech.
Okay, thank you. Everybody, all the people here I see and meeting together in one place in one part of the world. I talking about today about communication and the leadership and the efficiency. For me, communication is very important. I think that everybody knows that communication is verbal, non-verbal, and everything. I want talking about body language. Sometimes it's lost because everybody talking theoretically make accent for the professional sphere. I know it's everything, it's okay, it's good. But sometimes when you're going into travel, so sometimes you not know the language, you not know the cultures, you don't know. But the language of the body can do same a good communication. And all times I want talking about communication. In general, it's my last research. It's communication and third personal. And I'm looking about one important writer. It's John Maxwell. It is American author, speakers, and the same Mr. James Pastor. It's in his church, but it's writing many books, primarily focused on the leadership. It is New York Times included him in the best sellers list. And I think good communication involves us in the skill and absorbing and transmit idea. And for me, it's important emotional thing and what she received, the reflecting another's point and through listening another. This is important. Same I want to writing because the doctors, the first impact of listening, our first colleague she writing and did etica. And I want all the people remember that it's essential when it's coming for respecting others. It's essential make them mute in our conference when it's starting. And this, I think it's necessarily going everybody with this conference. And things, it's the communication, it's important. Have a three, I want explaining the three component of communication because I like very much something you know that it's true, something you feel, it's emotion, and something you do, it's action. I want feel good communication. For one good communication, it's audience first takes their heart and understand, and the rest coming naturally. I think everything coming naturally about this. And leadership, I think three important things in the leadership is very important. Empathy, because talking about leadership, you can try the different people, different definition, different things, different characteristic. Everybody know quality and the skills. It's very important. But I want to mention it. More people, all people, communicate that try understand, but few connect. That it's important you connect at discourse. It's ability of it's very important in this. Leadership, it's a social process, and now it's make more accent for this. But theoretically, leadership, it's a start, it's a empathy, a vision, and transparency. It's something simple. And Dr. Surzwad, it's writing for effectively communicate, change, and the best practice. It's necessarily all the people practice this leadership and make the more heart and courage. Only this I have did for every day. And for make a conclusion, I did everyone had to do the better world with this action and positive vision. And I close with our conference with our university. It's a new vision. Thank you, Dr. James. Thank you for everybody. Thank you, and our moderator, Nada. and good for everybody. Thank you for all.
Thank you, great Manuela, Dr. Manuela, for an amazing speech and beautiful smile. When you are smiling, you know, we adore your smile and everything what you say, your language body, verbal, non-verbal communication. It is very important, and especially when we see a beautiful smile face. It makes my day today. Thank you. Thank you so much for your great speech and for talking about this and giving us about the communication strategies for effective leadership. Now, from Denmark, let us move to Italy. With us, we have great Dr. Chiara Odia from Italy, and she will talk about the visionary leadership in education. Dr. Clara, welcome. Do you hear me? I know you had problems.
Yes, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
great. I can hear you.
Great.
Please let me introduce you in the few words. So, Dr. Chiara is a president of non-government organization LLL for Europe. She's a primary school teacher. She has an active role in the school network, and she's having a role since she promotes, coordinates, and takes active part in planning, fulfillment, and monitoring the project. She received many certificates of excellence for matchless contribution in promoting education for betterment of society from the House of British Parliament, London. Also, she has her latest 22 years, she's implementing many quality projects around the following priority. Psychological wellness, emotional, cognitive, relational needs, security, agility, environmental education, diversity, social exclusion, food, civilization, special needs, children inclusion, sports, diversity, and etc. Welcome, great Dr. Chiara. Enlighten us today with your speech.
Thank you. Thank you, Nada. Thank you, Nada. Thanks a lot. Okay. I have to talk about the visionary leadership, and I would try to start with a question. What is a visionary leadership? Visionary leadership, in my opinion, is a style of leading that inspires and motivates others to pursue a shared vision of the future. It can be especially effective in education, where teachers, students, and administrators need telling their goals and values. So, a visionary leadership style is important to create purpose in education and foster a positive learning environment. Visionary leadership is based on the idea that leaders have a clear and compelling vision of what they want to achieve and how they want to achieve it. A visionary leader communicates with this vision to his or her followers and persuades them to join them in their journey. A visionary leader is not only focused on the end result, but also on the process and the people involved. He is able to adapt to changing circumstances and challenges and encourage creativity and innovation among his followers. Visionary leadership is very important in education because it can help create a sense of purpose and direction for teachers, students, and all the school workers. I'm a teacher. I started teaching when I was very young, and on my experience, I know education is a complex and dynamic field that requires constant improvement and innovation. Visionary leaders can help identify the gaps and opportunities in the system and propose solutions that are aligned with the education mission and values. Visionary leaders can also inspire and motivate the others to perform at their best and to embrace lifelong learning. By creating a positive and supportive culture, visionary leaders can foster a high level of engagement and satisfaction among their followers and the stakeholders, of course. But to develop a visionary leadership style, it's necessary to have, as I told before, a clear and compelling vision of what we want to achieve in education and why. A good leader needs to articulate this vision in a way that resonates with the followers and appeals to their emotions and values. It needs also to demonstrate confidence and enthusiasm in the vision and show how it can benefit everyone involved. We also need to be open to feedback and to input from our followers and stakeholders and to adjust our vision as needed. The visionary leadership needs to empower the followers to take action and to contribute to the vision and to recognize and reward their efforts. It's important to develop a shared vision and mission, and to do that is useful to use different strategies and channels depending on the audience and context. The leader needs to tailor the message to suit the needs and preferences of the listeners, and to use stories, examples, and metaphors to illustrate our points. It's almost compulsory to use a clear and simple language that avoids jargon and ambiguity, and to use a confident and passionate tone that conveys your commission and enthusiasm. Not less important is listening actively and empathetically to the audience and to address the questions and concerns. He needs to the visionary leaders, needs to repeat and reinforce his vision frequently and consistently, and to use different media and formats to reach a wider audience. Each substantial tailor the communication, employing relatable stories and metaphors to illustrate the personal vision. If you are potential visionary leaders, I recommend you using clear, jargon-free language and a passionate tone. Actively listen to your audience, addressing concerns empathetically, constantly reinforce your vision through various media, ensuring broad reach. Using a visionary leadership style help educators to inspire and motivate students by setting a clear and exciting vision for education. This can create a sense of purpose and direction, helping students to see the value and potential of their education. A vision could be created by an individual or a team. I prefer the team of individuals that share multiple informational systems. Educators would consider idea developed in diagrams, step-by-step processes or pictures. The plan should include all stakeholders and the process that individuals contribute to the plan. Leaders should value their team. Leaders should consider the idea that a vision could start from the bottom up. But put our attention on long-term strategic planning for educational success. Strategic planning is a method used in various industries to deliberately guide decision making. In education, strategic planning provides leaders with guidance to keep the institution operating, carry out its missions, and comply with the regulations. Many educational institutions struggle with strategic planning due to poor organizational communication. Effectively implementing a strategic plan requires institutional-wide teamwork. Poor communication significantly increases the difficulty of agreeing upon and executing effective solutions and setting attainable goals. Despite the inherent challenges, education strategy planning is necessary for a successful institution operation. A strategic plan can help to improve several aspects of the education institution through intentional goal setting and any initiative implementation. Strategic planning for schools and universities helps students, staff, and the community progress toward a better future. But empowering teams to realize and support institutional goals is, in my opinion, a manager's top priority. But let's do a reflection together. Empowerment means giving power, and I would add the power to make decisions, the power to choose the best course of action and have a voice in organization. And another reflection is about the opposite of empowerment. The both opposite of empowerment is the micromanagement. Micromanagement is one of the most cited reasons that people leave organizations. This makes sense on a non-human level. We want to feel valued, respected, and trusted in our jobs. The importance of empowering the education works goes way beyond a strong team culture. And we can end this speech with a motto. Win as a team and lose as a team. Thanks for your attention.
Wow, what a great speech, Dr. Chiara. We feel, we see, we hear how amazing educator, how amazing professor, and we are winning today like a team, and we will always be a team. And thanks to our great professor, vice chancellor, Professor James, and all these amazing leaders today. Today, we see what is the meaning of education. Education is the cornerstone of progress, and the leaders are the architects of the future. And today, we empower education leaders, which is more essential to drive the changes, to foster the innovation, to improve the quality of learning for students worldwide. So this role of the education leaders today we now play a pivotal role. So I want our great Dr. James to say a few words at the end. Dr. James, please.
Okay, thank you, Nada, thank you. I really believe in what I told you. Okay, I will be retired in 1 year, but I would continue on the field education and cooperation because I love the cooperation and education too. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share with you my thinking. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you
very much, Professor Nada. But before having my last short speech, I'd like to say a big thank to Dr. Sierra and announcing our presence for a physical conference organized by our institutions in Italy, physically the coming May. By God's grace, we're gonna be in Italy with Dr. Sierra, so you are all welcome. Brothers,
I will be happy to host you all. I'm so glad.
We wanna be back. Yeah. Pleasure is ours to be with you, Dr. Sierra. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening again, everyone. As we come to the close of the Empowering Educational Leaders, a one-day symposium on leadership excellence, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on the incredible journey we've had together today. First, a heartfelt thank you to all of you, our distinguished speakers. Your expertise and thought-provoking presentations have inspired us all to think more deeply about leadership and the future of education. The knowledge shared today will undoubtedly continue to shape our work as educational leaders. To our engaged participants, your active participation, insightful points, and commitment to growth have truly made today's event a success. We must also extend our deepest gratitude to Professor Siam, the Vice Chancellor of Vision for Excellence National University in New Zealand, Dr. Manuela Dan, the Vice Chancellor of VAU in Denmark, driving force behind this symposium. And we are all so grateful for the opportunity to come together under your leadership. Additionally, I'd like to take a special moment to recognize Dr. Corina Sudda, the founder and president of Realto and the VAE Europe advisor. Dr. Corina, you are quite yet powerful forces behind the scene, always leading with professionalism, dedication, and a deep commitment to the growth of both organizations. Your behind-the-scenes leadership has been instrumental in success of this event in the continued development of our shared mission. We thank you for your unwavering support and vision. Using this opportunity to say a big thanks to Mr. Kapil from India, who have been supporting us behind the scene as well through the support of media department. Lastly, a hard and huge thank you to Professor Nada, our exceptional moderator, whose skillful facilitation has kept us on the track and made today's session flow seamlessly. Professor Nada, your professionalism and expertise are truly appreciated, and we are grateful for the energy and clarity you brought to this symposium. As we bring this session to close, I'd like now to pass the floor back to Professor Nada for her final thoughts and officially close the today's. Thank you all once again for being a part of this memorable day. We look forward to seeing how the insight and inspiration shared here will continue to drive leadership excellence in the future, as well as we use this opportunity to invite you to our next physical event, one in Nairobi, Kenya, graduation of Vision for Excellence National University, two, this in December, two in Dubai from 17th to 21 February, organized by VAU in partnership with the Realto. 3 in May, that should be in Italia, and October for the California, USA program. Wishing you all the best. We thank you. Over to you, Professor Nada.
Thank you. Thank you, respected Professor Dr. James, for your vote of the thanks for your great speech. I want to also thanks to our great Corina for her always supporting us, and she's an amazing leader. And today I want to finish this symposium conference with this: empowering education leaders is an investment in the future of education and society. Providing them with the tools, knowledge, support, we need to create a generation of leaders, new leaders who will inspire the change, who will foster the innovation, who will address the challenges of modern education with confidence and resilience, like all today we're here today and do. So education needs to involve the role of leaders, also to be critical in shaping this system to be inclusive, dynamic, and future ready. The empowerment of these leaders today here is not just a necessity, it's a catalyst for transforming education into the force of uplifting individuals. Today was a really amazing day. I wish to each of you a very blessed Saturday and days ahead. And also, I want to thanks to our great Erica Piv for being an amazing digital digital supporter, media supporter with us today. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Big thanks to Dr. James, who have really conceptualized this idea of having us all together on this floor. And I believe that the true leadership lies in the fact that the operation should be conducted thoroughly. And it is not about one nation can transform the complete things. We, small group, are more than sufficient enough to bring about a change. Because I believe that the ignition should be within. So today I'm very much elated to be an audience who is performing the operations to the best of my ability, and I think it is a great pleasure. Thank you. And if entire of us we have the ignition right in place, certainly we can bring about the change and true revolution altogether. Thank you for all your support, Professor Nada. Thank you, Professor Sihan, and Professor Corina as well, and everyone. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, our great media, you can close the event. You can stop recording and we will